keep searching for.
Top 10 National Parks to visit before the fall. Crowds arrive. Hey there, adventurers! Are you ready to experience some of the most stunning national parks before the fall crowds rush in? Today, we're counting down the top 10 national parks you need to visit before the busy season kicks in. Whether you're in the US, Canada, or even as far as Chile, these parks offer serene beauty, incredible trails, and a tranquil atmosphere that's hard to beat. Let's get into it. Number 10, Acadia National Park, Maine, USA. Picture this. Crisp early fall mornings, coastal views where the Atlantic crashes against rugged cliffs and the leaves just starting to change colors. That's Acadia in early fall. One of the best things about visiting Acadia before the peak of leaf peeping season is the quiet. You can hike trails like the Beehive Loop or stroll around Jordan Pond without feeling rushed by crowds. The Park Loop Road, which offers some of the most scenic drives in New England, is yours to enjoy with minimal traffic. Now, if you're like me and love capturing moments in nature, this is the time to snap that Instagram-worthy shot of Base Harbor Headlight. Trust me, with fewer people around, it feels like you have the place all to yourself. It's just you, the crashing waves, and the early signs of fall. Number 9, Zion National Park, Utah, USA. If you've never seen Zion in the early fall, you're in for a treat. The Red Rock canyons and towering cliffs take on a whole new look when the temperatures drop just enough to make hiking more enjoyable. One of the must-do hikes here is Angel's Landing. It's a challenging trail, but with fewer people crowding the narrow ridge, it's more manageable. And then, of course, there's the Narrows. Walking through the cool waters of the Virgin River feels almost otherworldly when you're surrounded by the peaceful echoes of the canyon walls. September is the sweet spot for Zion. The temperatures are cooler, the crowd's thinner, and the dramatic rock formations just as awe-inspiring as ever. If you've been avoiding Zion because of the summer heat or packed trails, this is your sign to go now. Number 8, Yoho National Park, British Columbia, Canada. Let's head north to Canada's hidden gem, Yoho National Park. Yoho often flies under the radar compared to its more famous neighbours like Banff, but in early fall, it's an absolute paradise. Imagine standing at the base of Takakau Falls, one of the tallest waterfalls in Canada, with nothing but the sound of cascading water and the cool, crisp air around you. Or how about a hike around Emerald Lake, where the water is so clear and turquoise, it looks almost unreal. By September, the weather has cooled, but it hasn't snowed yet, making it perfect for hiking. Fewer visitors means you can truly connect with nature. Whether you're exploring the Iceland Trail or taking in the majesty of the Canadian Rockies, Yoho offers a peaceful yet thrilling experience before the winter sets in. Number 7, Glacier National Park, Montana, USA. This is a park that feels like stepping into a painting, with towering mountains, crystal clear lakes, and expansive meadows. But here's the thing. Most people visit in summer, and by mid-fall, the park starts shutting down due to snow. That's why early fall, just before the snow hits, is prime time. The iconic Going to the Sun Road is still open, offering you some of the best scenic drives in the country without the bumper-to-bumper traffic. If you're a hiker, the trails are less crowded and you can explore spots like Grinnell Glacier or Hidden Lake with the vibrant colors of autumn starting to take hold. The wildlife is still active too, so keep your eyes peeled for mountain goats, bears, and maybe even a moose or two. Number 6, Lake District National Park, England. Let's take a jump across the pond to the Lake District National Park in England. Fall in the Lake District is something truly special. The rolling hills and serene lakes are always beautiful, but as summer fades, the park takes on a quieter, more peaceful atmosphere. You can wander through the villages and take in the first hints of autumn without the throngs of summer tourists. Hike up Catbells or stroll around Lake Windermere and feel like you've stepped into a Jane Austen novel. The early fall colours aren't as dramatic as in some other parks on this list, but the softer hues of gold and brown, combined with the mist rising off the lakes, create a magical experience. Plus, the weather is still mild enough for long walks, boat rides, or just sitting by the water with a cup of tea. Number 5, Banff National Park, Alberta, Canada. Banff National Park. If you've ever seen photos of Lake Louise or Moraine Lake, you know exactly why this park is on the list. But here's a tip. Go in early fall, before the peak of leaf peeping season. In September, the crowds are thinner, but the colours are already starting to pop. The crisp mountain air, fewer tourists, and stunning landscapes make it feel like you've stumbled upon a well-kept secret. You can paddle on the turquoise waters of Moraine Lake, with the backdrop of snow-dusted peaks, or take a peaceful hike around Lake Louise. Early fall in Banff means you get to enjoy the stunning scenery without the busloads of tourists. It's also prime time for spotting wildlife, so keep your camera ready. Number 4. Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Tennessee, North Carolina, USA. This park is known for its mist-covered mountains and vibrant fall foliage. But did you know that early fall is actually one of the best times to visit? By visiting in late September or early October, you can beat the leaf-peeping crowds while still enjoying the first signs of the leaves turning. The trails are quieter, making for peaceful hikes through the woods. Whether you're exploring Cades Cove or hiking up to Clingman's Dome, the views are breathtaking. Take a scenic drive along the Newfound Gap Road and you'll get a preview of what's to come later in fall, with fiery reds and oranges just beginning to creep into the green canopy. It's the perfect time to soak in the Smokies without the hustle and bustle of peak season. Number 3. Torres del Paine National Park, Chile. Let's head south to Torres del Paine National Park in Chile. Now, you might be wondering, why are we talking about spring when the rest of the list is focused on fall? Well, in the Southern Hemisphere, September marks the beginning of spring, and Torres del Paine is an absolute stunner at this time of year. The snow is melting, the wildflowers are blooming, and the iconic towers that give the park its name stand tall against a backdrop of clear, blue skies. The best part? You'll practically have the trails to yourself. Whether you're trekking the famous W Circuit or just taking in the views from Lake Peoe, visiting in September means fewer crowds and the weather is perfect for hiking. Torres del Paine in early spring is an unforgettable experience that lets you enjoy the park's raw beauty without the usual throngs of tourists. Number 2. Killarney National Park, Ireland. Ireland's Killarney National Park is up next. And let me tell you, this place is pure magic in early fall. The rolling green hills, serene lakes, and ancient castles are straight out of a storybook. And in September, it's quiet enough that you can explore at your own pace. Take a leisurely hike around the lakes of Killarney, visit Ross Castle, or get lost in the winding trails of the park's forests. The fall colours are just starting to appear, and the weather is mild enough for long walks without the swarms of summer tourists. There's something incredibly peaceful about Killarney in early fall. The landscape feels timeless, and with fewer people around, you can truly soak it all in. Plus, the local pubs are still open, so after a long day of exploring, you can kick back with a pint of Guinness. Number 1. Arches National Park, Utah, USA. And finally, topping our list is Arches National Park in Utah. If you've ever dreamed of seeing those iconic red rock arches without the crowds, early fall is the time to go. The temperatures have cooled down, making it much more comfortable to hike through the desert landscape. Delicate arch, landscape arch, double arch. These are just a few of the stunning formations you'll get to see with far fewer people around. You can take your time exploring the park's trails, marveling at the otherworldly beauty of the red rocks against the deep blue sky. The peace and quiet, combined with the cooler weather, make early fall the perfect time to visit Arches. And if you're into stargazing, stick around after dark. The night skies here are some of the clearest and most awe-inspiring in the country. So, there you have it, folks. 10 incredible national parks to visit before the fall crowds rush in. Each park offers something unique, and early fall is the perfect time to experience them in peace and tranquility. Whether you're hiking through the red rocks of Utah, exploring the waterfalls of British Columbia, or wandering through the misty mountains of Tennessee, there's no better time to connect with nature. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Until next time, safe travels.